being human is a gift, but keeping our humanity is a choice. This week's parsha begins with a beautiful story of three angels who arrive in Abraham's tent. The Torah describes how Abraham is sitting on a very hot day. We know what hot summer days are in Florida. So Abraham is sitting outside Kichom Hayom in the boiling heat of the day, and he sees three strangers coming. He didn't know they were angels, and he runs towards them and he welcomes them in to give them a meal. Now, our rabbis say that this occurrence happened 3 days after his circumcision, when is the most painful period after an operation. Is that confirmed, surgeon? 3 days after, and he didn't have medication, and he's sitting outside and he's looking for guests because he wants to invite people into his home. And our rabbis tell us that these three guests were angels, and each angel had a mission. One angel came to heal Abraham from his circumcision. The second angel came to tell Abraham and Sarah they're going to have a child, Isaac. And the third angel was on its way to rescue Lot and his family from the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, because God decided to destroy the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. And the rabbis say each angel had its own mission because angels don't multitask. Each one has one mission. So it teaches us about the greatness of Abraham, that he welcomes these guests even though he's in pain and it's a hot day. He's looking for guests to welcome into his home. But one of the questions that's asked is on the story is, we know why the first angel had to come to Abraham's house to heal him. The second one had to come to notify him and Sarah that they're going to have a baby. But the third angel should have gone directly to Sodom to rescue Lot and his family. Why did the first angel come to Abraham's tent? His mission was in the city of Sodom to rescue Lot. So when you talk about Judaism, there are two parts to Judaism. Judaism is about goodness and holiness. Goodness, of course, is being good. The Torah tries to make us into better human beings, more ethical, more moral. But in addition to being good, we also have to be holy. Now, what does it mean to be holy? So every human being is created in the image of God. But we're also created in the image of an animal. That's what humanity is. Humanity is a hybrid between godliness and animal. We have a godly soul and an animal soul. So what does it mean to act like an animal? So you may have remembered when you were a kid, your mother gave you a bowl of spaghetti. And if you didn't eat with your fork and knife, but you put your face into the bowl and you were looking out the bottom of the spaghetti bowl, your mother said, don't eat like an animal. Now there's nothing immoral or unethical about eating spaghetti with your face in the bowl without a fork and a knife. But it's not human. In other words, there are certain things that are not unethical or immoral, but it's just animalistic. It's not human. You're a human being. You're a civilized person. You eat like a human with a fork and a knife. You don't stick your face in the bowl. So being a human being and being a Jew, the Torah teaches us how to be good, which means moral, ethical, righteous, and all the laws of the Torah teach us how to do that, to live the most moral, righteous life. But beyond that, how to live as a human being, which means to be a holy person in the image of God, not in the image of the animal. When we debase ourselves and follow our animalistic instincts, then we are acting in the image of the animal inside of us. When we act holy, God-like, we are being in the image of the divine, of the holy God that we were made in his image. And that's why the commentaries say that before the angel went to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, he had to first go to Abraham's tent. Because God wanted to show this angel the contrast between Abraham's home and the people who live in Sodom. Abraham was a man living in the image of God. He, despite his discomfort of his operation and the heat of the day, he wants to invite guests into his house, complete strangers. He's a man of kindness, of generosity. He's acting on his higher self. People in Sodom were acting on the most base animalistic instincts. And I was thinking that yesterday was 81st anniversary of Kristallnacht. Today is Veterans Day. And if you want to see a contrast between the best of humanity and the worst of humanity, just look at these 2 days. Yesterday commemorates the day that led to the murder of 6 million Jews, 1.5 million innocent children. There could be no greater example of the animalistic nature of man, which is worse than an animal, because an animal wouldn't do such a thing. The planning and the strategic enactment of the murder of 6 million innocent men, women, and children. Little babies and infants were gassed and put into the crematoriums. This is humanity acting in the most animalistic way. And today commemorates a day of soldiers who went to battle, who gave their lives, young soldiers, 20 years old, 21, 22, who gave up their entire life to rescue others, to save the lives of others. Sacrificing your life for another person, that's the most divine thing you can do. There's no rational explanation why a person would lay down their life for people they never met. But it's an idealistic value to preserve freedom, and I'm willing to even die for that. That is the most divine you can be. And so these 2 days remind us, just like Abraham's tent versus the city of Sodom, that we have a choice. God makes us human, but we have to choose to live as human beings, which is not only to be good, but to be holy. And I'll just conclude, there's a story about, there was this fire once, and this man ran into the burning building to rescue the man, and he took him out of the burning fire. He rescued him, saved his life, and the man said, "How can I reward you? What would you like? I'm a wealthy man. I'll give you anything you want for saving my life." And the man says, "I don't want any money." He says, "But how am I going to reward you for saving my life?" And he said, "The way you'll reward me for saving my life, for saving your life, is to live a life that was worth saving." And I think that more than anything else, what these soldiers who laid down their lives and died for our country want, or the Jews who died in the Holocaust to perpetuate and stand strong as proud Jews to preserve Jewish life, if they could speak to us and say, "How should we reward you for your ultimate sacrifice?" They would say, "Don't build monuments and memorials for us. That's all nice. But the most important thing you could do is live a life worth dying for. We died for your freedom. Live as good, righteous people. Live as good Americans and live as good Jews. And that will be the greatest reward we can give them." And that's what yesterday, Kristallnacht, and today, Veterans Day, remind each and every one of us.